All right. It looks like I just checked. It looks like we are live. Benjamin, can you confirm? Can you see and hear me? I'm going back and forth between StreamYard and the live feed on YouTube. It looks like it's good. I'm wearing a little clip-on mic right here, lapel mic. Okay, cool. All right, very good. It looks good. I'm looking at the chat on YouTube and the chat in StreamYard. It looks okay. Ben, do you want to join? All right, it all looks good on my end, so I'll leave this the way it is. All right, this is another unscheduled surprise live event. If anybody out there wants to stop by and say hello, or has a question about anything about tech or Linux, you've come to the right place. Sleepy, good day, mate. That was a cute comment. Sleepy. Was this on the schedule? What's the schedule? Yeah. Good morning, Jan. Let's, this is an open chat, so if you want to join, I'll just put it in the stream here. If you want to join, there you are. Yeah, I went swimming yesterday, probably stayed out in the sun more than I should have. I'm a bit sunburned here, my back and on my arm, so I had to switch soaps this morning. Had to use Tone with cocoa butter. Then I sprinkled on some Chromebook cocoa butter for my skin. Yeah, a little bit flaky skin, but anyway. Yeah, it's going to be 91 today. Is this mic okay? This lapel mic okay? I haven't worn this in a while. I didn't feel like wearing my headset, so hello Linux Network. I got the background music playing. If that's too loud, let me know. Just to add some ambiance to the stream. So, anyway. Good morning, Robert. How are you? If you guys want to join, that's the code. That's the stream code. You like it? Just came to me. Romance novels, pen testing. There's an inner writer in me trying to escape. It's funny you say that, Sleepy, because last night I was watching the Hallmark Channel. I'm a sucker for happy romance endings. What can I say? I think the movie was called Love, of course. So I'm waiting for the sequel to Love, of course, the movie called Linux, of course. That was a good one. Sleepy. Yes, I will not write a romance novel called Penetration Testing. No. Not going to happen. It does look snazzy, yeah. Background music too loud? Okay. Just turned it down a notch. Is that better, Jan? It's on my boombox. My friend from Pittsburgh's CD. Let me know if that background music is a little bit quieter. Jan, you're dropping in until students for English class. Very good. Excellent. Let's see here. All right, there we go, Ben.
Oh, did I figure it out? Did I do it right?
You are good.
Okay.
What this does, it puts you like in the waiting room, like it puts you backstage, and then I have to add you. So when you click on the code, you'll probably see yourself that you're on, but you're not on here until I add you. So.
And are there snacks in the green room?
Snacks? Sure, whatever you bring. Whatever you want to bring. Let's see here. There's different ways to toggle this view, like this. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 options on my end, so it is kind of cool. Yeah. There's a Skype effect or a Skype view. There's a Zoom effect.
So
yeah.
Looks like on YouTube it's split right down the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so it shows up on you. I was checking it out on the actual stream.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. So it's pretty nice. So this is how it looks in Zoom. Yeah, this seems to work pretty good. This is my second test. So this is a possibility. Jitsi is a possibility. I may take a look at one more or two more or one more. I think it's called Signal. And Framatalk, if I can find a way to speak English, not Francais.
Wait, I have Signal installed. I didn't know I could do video chat, though.
I think. Take a look at it. Maybe I'm wrong.
I know it does text messages on my phone.
Okay.
Supposedly it encrypts it, but only if the receiver has Signal as well.
Okay.
So
well, maybe I'm wrong, but I'll take a look. But yeah, so far I like Jitsi, or as I call it, Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, I don't mind Jitsi. What I did with it, I took it and I took a page out of Steve's book and turned it into an ICE application.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Vince likes StreamYard, or you're looking at pricing. Free version has limit of 6 people. Yeah, currently no time limit, which is good. I like the no time limit because Zoom has a time limit of 40. And if you have only 1 or 2 people, it's probably enough. But
yeah,
and I'm not going to do a 40-minute stream, cancel it at 39, start another one. That's not going to happen. It's just now if it's only one-on-one interview, sure, I think it's fine. No, currently that is likely to change if development continues. Yeah, I don't know what it costs the developer to host all this. I think it's great. He's giving us free unlimited time. Being limited to 6, for a free version, I'm not complaining. It's free. I understand he has expenses. He has to make money, and that's fine. I think Hangouts gave you 10, right? Total? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so 6 people on this for the free version, I don't have a problem with it. As long as it keeps unlimited time, that's the main thing. Because I don't want to keep track of the time. Hey, am I in or out? So. But yeah, I don't have a problem with the free version now as it is, Steve. And I think it's I think their pricing is $20 a month, but it does a little more than Zoom. So I think it's fair. Yeah, I think Zoom's pricing is fair.
Well, I mean, as far as I go, I think I might just go with Jitsi just because it's free and it seems to work the closest to what Hangouts used to do.
Yeah, I would say so.
From what I've seen so far.
Yeah. This just adds a few extra things like banners and video quality is amazing. Yeah. It looks good in I took a quick look at the YouTube feed on the split screen here. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's better than Hangouts was.
And I'm outside. I only have 70% signal.
Yeah. So yeah, this is okay. Like I said, the only limit is 6 people total, but that's okay. Like I said, if I pick up any sponsors, I'll probably pay either for this or for Zoom for the year. I would rather pay for the year, get it done with, and yeah. Jitsy's open source if you want to favor that philosophy. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I use what works. I use what makes this work easier.
I mean, I gave Riot a try, and
Yeah.
it lived up to its name.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. It made me want to start a riot. Because it was trying to use Jitsi as its video client anyway, and I'm like, why don't I just use Jitsi then?
Yeah, I know. I don't know if the paid version of this has an option to record like in Jitsi, but the recorder function in Jitsi doesn't always work. So, I mean, you could do this in OBS, but that's an extra step,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not recording. I mean, YouTube is recording this, but I am not. So.
Yeah, you try to cut out as many middlemen as you can.
Yeah, it's extra steps of work. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and it seems like no matter what I do, like if I want to keep it free, I'm gonna have to. If I want to keep it free and I want to keep the open chats, I'm gonna have to push whatever the video chat is through OBS.
Right.
So there's no easy way to replace Hangouts, I don't think.
Well, Hangouts was very user friendly for what it did.
Yeah,
very user friendly, and
it was very functional.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Romy says, "Is Jammy any good?" Jammy is something fairly new. I think I downloaded it. I looked at it, Romy, and it looked okay. And that's all that I know. I think I downloaded it, and I think it's Ubuntu Mate.
I've never heard of it.
Jammy.
I've heard of Ring, but I never tried Ring. I never heard of Jammy though.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's chatting a client. Is it live streaming too, Romy? I don't know. I remember I looked at it, looked clean and simple, but that's all that I know.
Jammy.
Yeah, look it up. I think I downloaded it a few weeks ago just to look at it briefly. I don't think I still have it, do I? Let me see here. I think I deleted it.
Say features.
No, I don't have it. Yeah.
Audio calls between Jammy users, audio and video conference calls.
Oh, so it is video? Okay. I might take a look at it again. Hi, Ben Fitz.
Oh, emojis and animated GIFs. I'm sold.
If it works. So that's the key. I may take a look at that after I take a look at Signal. I might. That's right. Sergey was mentioning Jammy. That's right. It's similar to Jitsi. Okay. That's what I heard about it, Sleepy. Yes. Yeah, like I said, I took a brief look at it. It seemed okay. Does it work? I have no clue. I think it's strictly a free version. Okay. Then I posted the link in the chat if you want to join. I guess I can post it again. Hang on.
Well, for the record, Jammy, I guess at least the GTK version, the GNOME version, is available in the Arch community repo.
Okay.
So I'm installing it now. What could it hurt? Oh my! I broke my Arch. I'm kidding.
You are welcome, Romy. Yeah, check out Jitsi, Romy, and the StreamYard seems good. And you know me, I call it as I see it. I have no ego to bruise on this channel, but both of these seem good so far. I'm looking at my list here, some upcoming stuff when I get to it. I'm going to take another look at Ubuntu as a full install, some newbie terminal commands, a couple of interviews, some more Chromebook stuff. Might be able to squeeze in another concert with a special friend of ours, if you know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. She's back in the States. And a discussion on privacy. Does privacy exist? There seems to be a lot of debate and confusion about privacy in today's world. I'll give you a hint. It does not. No matter what you do, it does not. And I'm going to prove it by thinking outside the box. So look for that special event. Does privacy exist? In my opinion, it does not. You're welcome, Romy. So I don't have dates for all this. I need to go through my emails that I've archived and look for any possible sponsor or sponsors. That's going to be very time consuming. I hate doing that, but I don't have a choice. By the way, thank you all who support the channel through the various links, Super Chat, Patreon, and PayPal. Thank you.
Yeah, so I installed Jammy. I made my account, but I'll see where it goes.
All right. Well, if you have it, that's good. At least I know someone who's on it. I'll take a look at it again. Yes, Sleepy. Ooh, concert gushing. Yes. Stephanie reposted. She did a repost of a new video of one of our favorite songs, Sleepy. So check it out. Ricardo Rogers, privacy. Yeah, that's going to be one of the topics. I think the topic of the year, in my opinion. Does privacy exist? And it doesn't. It just, I don't care what you do, it does not exist. I'm going to prove it. What does Toss need with dates or a calendar? Yeah, I know. Well, I don't have a schedule, but that doesn't matter. That does not affect this channel. Finding sponsors is sponsors that I would approve has been a problem. Besides you guys, thank you. What does Toss need? Thanks for being a friend there, Sleepy.
Well, this show has been brought to you in part by Black Coffee, keeping me awake since midnight.
Well, this show is not brought to you by midnight. Wow. This show is not brought to you by Kroger Seltzer Water. Hint, Kroger, hint. Anyway. Yeah, the other day I was in the car. I was actually in a parking lot thinking about privacy. And I listed 10 ways that 10 ways for you to lose your privacy. And it's impossible for you to stop it. At least 10 ways. So for all of you guys who have VPNs and, private web browser or this and that, I think it's great to have all that, but that is not going to keep you private or as private as you think you are.
Yeah, no, it sucks, right? Like, we don't want to be spied on every second of the day.
Well, and maybe some of it is harmless, like, okay, here's a little sneak preview of why it's impossible to be private. You ever go on vacation and there's people snapping selfies and pictures and it accidentally catches you? Is that private? No. It's harmless. They didn't mean to, but is that private? Is your VPN going to protect you against that? I don't think so. Anyway, that's just a hint of what I want to talk about. But yeah, it's impossible. It's just that the tech world has exploded.
I mean, I guess what I care more about more than privacy is like having at least some control over my own computer.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be Arch.
Right.
It could be like, and any distribution of Linux would give me more control over my system than Windows or Mac.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah. Absolutely, you should do what you can to make your system secure or systems secure and as private as possible.
Yeah.
While I believe you can remain secure and stay secure, you can turn on your privacy function, but you're not going to stay private because of the variables. If you know what I mean. So that's why I say privacy does not exist. Unless people say, well, if you know what you're doing, if you don't know what you're talking about, Okay.
And anybody who thinks that privacy exists on the internet, I would implore you, download a program called Wireshark,
Mhm.
or there's another program called EtherApe, and just open it, play with it, and see how private you really are. Download Kali Linux, play with it in a virtual box, right? Just play about. Don't worry about breaking it. It's in a virtual box. Just see what kind of tools are out there, and how private you really are. But hey, that's just my take. I've messed with Kali Linux. There's some scary stuff.
Robert Trimble, good day, says Privacy OS today. Sure. Welcome to the privacy stream today.
Yeah.
Even though we're live, this is not a private stream.
Yeah,
And even if I made this private, is it really private?
No, you know how you make a privacy OS? You just make a Linux distribution that doesn't come with any network drivers. Then it won't connect to the internet. You're private.
Right.
That's about as private as it gets.
Yeah, right, yeah. Like I said, if you really want privacy, stay off the web.
Yeah.
Since the day you were born. Steve says, privacy, forget about it. Those are my thoughts exactly.
Well, since I don't have a DeLorean, it's just too late for that.
Anyway, so look for that live event. I'm going to make a lot of people very angry and uncomfortable with that. Sorry, it is the way it is. Total privacy is a myth, yes. But you can be relatively more private. Yes, you can. Like I said, you should make your system as secure and as private as possible. In fact, you should try to be 100% secure when you can against malware, especially Windows. Privacy, I know a lot of people, I use Linux because I stay private. No, you don't. You may stay private locally in your system, but once you get on the web, you are not private.
Yeah, I think, well, at the same time, we're not going to be 100% private.
Something happened.
Was that me? Did that come from my end? Should I worry?
I don't know. Take a look around.
No, but I think even if we're not 100% private, it doesn't mean we should make it, easy for the people that want to track us. Like we should make them have to work for it. Really.
All right. I am not saying forget about privacy. No joke. Obviously, you want to do what you can, but I think it's easier to be secure.
Yeah.
Than it is to be private.
Yeah, I agree.
Robert, this is your first time here. Everybody say hello to Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Welcome. They mentioned Kali Linux in that Harlequin novel. Kali Linux? Kali, is that the Linux or the girl Kali? Ha.
I think she's a goddess of destruction. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on it.
Kali Linux, okay. I'll have to look it up on my Amazon tablets.
It's a penetration testing distribution based on Debian.
Okay.
And it comes with like a ton of like stuff for that field. So don't run it as your main desktop OS. Maybe dedicate a machine to it, a throwaway machine, or a virtual machine to it.
Come on, give it up for Robert. Say hello.
Hey, Robert. How you doing?
What do you think about argument between BSD and Linux? Isn't it inept to measure which Linux is more Unix, which system is more Unix fully? I've taken one or two looks at BSD. It wasn't for me, Romy. Inept to measure which is more Unix fully. I don't get into those kind of discussions or politics myself, Romy. I use what works. So
I wouldn't know. I mean, there's no such thing. Yeah. Like, really, from what I heard, there's really no such thing as Unix anymore. Everything is that is Unix today is Unix-like or a Unix clone, like Linux, BSD. None of them is like original Unix.
I think BSD is based out of California at the University of Berkeley, hence the B, I believe.
Yes, I believe so.
I've tested BSD and BSD based. It wasn't for me, but that's on my test.
I tried a Ghost BSD, I think it was, which I would say is like the Ubuntu of the BSDs. I installed it. Okay. Like, it wasn't as easy as Ubuntu, but it wasn't as hard as some BSDs.
Okay.
So like it was I think it was an N-Curses installer,
Okay.
but it was a graphical at least. And
Okay.
so I got it installed. It was running XFCE desktop environment. I would have to say that BSD is where Linux was 10 years ago now.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Hey, Ricky.
Ricky Kaye. Welcome, Ricky. We have about 15 people in this thing watching. So, like, if anybody else is new watching, like Robert, again, this was unscheduled. Haha, what a surprise. But please do stop by and say hello. I don't think I put any support links in this title if you wanted to support the channel, but just go to one of the previous videos. There's some links in there if you want to help support this channel, this community that we do.
Oh, Ben's turning on his Mac. I'll see you next year, buddy.
It takes that long to turn on a Mac to join us. Ben, you need a Chromebook. Forget Mac, forget Microsoft. Get a Chromebook. It turns on in 10 seconds. Bam, you're good to go.
Well, Macs are, I think, a little faster than Windows. They are superior to Windows. But the last time I went to the Apple store, I took a look at a MacBook Pro, one of the 15-inch MacBook Pros. It had 16 gigs of RAM in it. It was sitting there idle. Not just the system just up and running. I checked the system resources. It was running 8 out of the 16 gigs.
Wow.
I was like, whoa, that's kind of bloated.
Speaking of Mac, Ben, there's a bug in the Zoom. Zoom for Mac, it's not secure to a search. It is, be careful. So, Ricky, what happened? You caught a cold or something? Let's add Ben here. There we go.
It's not as fast when you're on a Mac Pro from 2010.
Yeah.
And also, I have the Mac OS on a moving hard drive, not an SSD.
Okay.
Didn't they go to flash storage though?
Yeah, but I bought this one used, and unfortunately, it came with a 1 terabyte spinning disk. But I added more drives, and I couldn't get the SSDs to pick up when I initially installed High Sierra on this.
Romy says the argument is the only toxic thing I come across in open source community. What about the Unix thing, Romy, or something else? Sorry, I lost my train of thought here.
Well, I'm just going to say one thing. The Arch community is about the most craziest thing and toxic thing I've ever seen in my life.
Really? Okay.
Yes. I will never, ever go to their forum or their IRC ever again.
I have to agree with that, Ben. And by the way, I run Arch.
I know.
Not for the community, though.
Yeah. I love their distro. It's a great thing, but I could not say the same about the people, except for you, Benjamin. You are a nice Arch user. You're cool. There are a couple of people I've met who I will say are great Arch users. Love them to death, especially you, my friend. But look, there's a couple of people. There's the IRC and some of the community. I could not say the same.
I think one of the reasons why this channel has lasted this long is because it's been a refuge for people who have gone to communities and maybe they were not treated right or not friendly enough.
And I guess I kind of understand where they're coming from in the Arch forums. Like they took the time to make this amazing wiki, and you're gonna go and ask some stupid question before you even try to look it up. I mean, I get why they could get mad, but at the same time, you don't got to be rude about it. That's my thoughts.
I mean, I don't know what it is about Arch users, but there's some times where they just have this weird mentality that you have to read the wiki on everything. I'm like, what the heck? I mean, if someone's willing to read the guide and then seek help, what's the problem? I mean, my God.
Yeah. It's like, it's like,
We've already put in some effort. Come on.
yeah. And I think that, what's his name? Somebody said that, like, I forgot who it was. I was talking about this, about that. It should have been English majors that wrote the Arch Wiki, not tech people.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Real quick, Robert, thank you for the super chat. He says FF.org for privacy. That's the Electronic Frontier Foundation, I think.
Hmm.
Here's the problem I have with the Arch Wiki versus like the Gen 2 Wiki or something else. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this: the Gen 2 Wiki, and Benjamin, we've had this conversation before. You see, the Gen 2 Wiki is so much easier to understand by a lot.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And the Arch Wiki, you got to jump through a bunch of hoops to find anything except the install guide, which really is just too short.
Yeah, the install guide, in my opinion, of Gen 2 is a lot clearer.
And it's more in depth
than the Arch. Because, like, let's say you watch a video on how to install Arch. To find some of the steps in this video that you're watching, you have to click on links to other things.
Yeah.
And in Gen 2, when I watched the video how to install Gen 2 and I followed the wiki, it was almost step for step, line by line, the same, identical. I could follow the wiki alone and install Gen 2. For Arch, I need the Arch wiki plus another guide with me.
Right, which really sucks. I hate to say. I mean, I could install Arch with just my memory right now, but I can't say that about most other people. I mean, I've installed Arch enough times that I can pull it right out of my head, but, the problem being 99% of Arch users can't do that.
Well, Gen 2 rocks because Chromebooks are based on Gen 2, are they not?
Arch rocks because it rolls.
Okay, but
Yeah.
So I love my Chromebook. It is. I can see why Linus Torvalds, the father of Linux, would be happy with Chrome OS as a national OS for Linux.
The funny thing, as we've discussed, Toss, it's built on Gen 2, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So I mean, that means Toss can now say, by the way, I run Gen 2.
Am
I wrong?
Technically, that is the case.
But then I have to clarify because I'll have all newbies going Gen 2.
Yeah, they will.
Code, not the code, but the Chromebook.
I think, honestly, the only thing that keeps me from running Gen 2, I would love to be able to run it, is the compile times. It would just take too long to maintain it, and I would just have no time for a life. So
yeah, you would not. No, but the way I run it, it makes it worth the while.
I noticed I did some testing on the Chromebook. I installed an extension. It was Ghostery, AdBlock, or the Ghostery. It slowed down the Chromebook, so I deleted it, and it ran considerably faster. Yeah.
Well, I am just beyond annoyed with my MacBook at this point, doesn't the way it's running. About ready to cut macOS off and say, screw this, and put some version of Linux on and say, okay, I've had enough of the stinking macOS. I'm about ready to say, F this, and put Linux on the dang thing. Because honestly, this is really starting to pee me off.
I mean, that's what Linus Torvalds did for the longest time, right? He put Linux on MacBook Airs, I think.
Yeah, mine's a Pro 2013, and while it does have dual video cards, I'm about ready to say, okay, the heck with this. I don't care if it only runs under the Intel and the NVIDIA or the whatever. I'm about ready to say, F you, Apple, I'm putting your OS to shame. Yeah.
I mean, gun to my head, someone says you gotta choose Windows or Mac. Guess what? I'd choose Mac.
Yeah. But
Hello, Ron with the Dolphins. Sorry, hello, Ron. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah.
Or one of the few times I've had you on the live chat. Welcome, Ron. If you want to join, I don't know how much longer I'll be. I'll post a link here.
And
Testing StreamYard as a possible alternative to Hangouts. So
yeah, we're testing that.
Ron works with MXlytics. Do you not? I think it's you. Yeah.
So far, I think it's doing pretty good.
Yeah. This is. I like this triple split screen here.
Yeah, so I'm checking Facebook, and someone posted a picture of them on an emotional roller coaster.
Ah.
And
Okay.
it was posted in Theme Park Review. I'm like, what in the world? And then another thing says, Star Wars rocks my world, and it's under WeGotThisCovered.com. And it says the Rise of Skywalker crew were reportedly asked to stop bashing The Last Jedi? What?
By the way, Ben, whatever mic you're using doesn't sound that clear. I can hear you, but it's not.
Sorry.
That's okay. Just want to let the people
But
know.
what I'm saying is,
It's just the mic.
it's my webcam on this Mac. It's being really stupid. But anyway, it says the Rise of Skywalker crew were reportedly asked to stop bashing The Last Jedi. Weird. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm just looking at news articles on Facebook just because. Oh man.
I'm looking at the ticker feed on the top, see if anything catches my eye.
And it looks like we might get an Old Republic Star Wars movie soon. It's in development.
Scientists 3D print human skin and bone for Mars astronauts. That's interesting. Wow. Why not?
Nintendo Switch Lite announced. Interesting.
That gives a new meaning to the term, hey, there's no skin off of my back. Haha.
So have either of you taken a look at Debbie and 10 yet?
I did on a virtual machine with Mate. It ain't that bad, but
I've installed Debian before in the past, a stable one. It seems okay. It's pretty fast, but yeah.
I installed the standard, the minimal, in a virtual box, and I put i3 on it. But I think I might have borked it because I accidentally closed out the terminal while I was installing something, and I thought I was going to close out something on my host system, but I ended up closing out the terminal in the virtual box. Oops.
What did you do?
Oops. I found the app is not as fast as Pac-Man.
No, it is not.
It seems all right if you're looking for a stable distro.
Mm-hmm. Computer from NASA's Apollo program reprogrammed to mine Bitcoin. Wow.
I didn't know they had Bitcoin on the moon.
I maybe call it moon coin. I don't know. Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy world.
Maybe that's why the moon's hollow. That's where they stored all the Bitcoin.
That's right. Yes. Mine for coins. A merge. This is from the ticker. A merge proposal to drop Snap support from known software hints at deeper divisions. Really? Yes.
Wait,
I'm going to have many sleepless nights over that. Not.
Wait, so they're going to drop Snap support out of the GNOME software store?
I'm just reading it now.
That might cause some problems.
Yeah. The official, this is for Skype, which is good too, by the way, for live, or not for live, but for recording. I don't know if I can do it for live. I'd have to run it through OBS. Anyway, the official Skype Snap app for Linux has not been updated in nearly 6 months. Oh. Microsoft is yet to say why. Interesting.
It's because they're Microsoft. That's why.
Skype Snap is hoping. I don't use this Snap, do I? Let me check here. Skype Snap. I just downloaded it off the website.
I have Snap installed, but I don't use any snaps.
Yeah, I don't have. I
no.
install OBS Studios Snap. But yeah.
No, scratch that. When I installed Snap D and installed a bunch of snaps as dependencies for Snap D.
Okay. Hey, CJ, good morning. Yeah, it's early morning for you. You're in LA. It's 6 o'clock, 6:30, 40. What time is it? 6:40.
Coffee.
Oh, snap. Yeah. Here's a quick, little quick screen share here. Screen. And this is what I see, sort of. Notice I got the two chats, so I don't really have the two chat boxes open, but just to make sure it's working and it is. But this is pretty cool, yeah.
Oh, so you can get the YouTube chat right in the client.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Right.
I popped up the chat next to my browser here.
Yeah, I mean, I have both just to make sure it's working, but yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah, this is why I like it.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think
it was up at 5:30 in the morning with the sun. I don't blame you.
Oh,
Nice, but yeah.
oh gosh, this is what I get for sitting outside.
Yeah, I'm inside where it's cool. Now, like I said, I'm a little bit sunburned, so it's going to be 91 today. So if I go swimming, I think I might have to go around 5-ish when the sun starts to go down, you know. So.
Hey. Dude, I only got 3 hours of sleep, y'all.
That much? Wow, you slept in, buddy.
Yeah, I was finally asleep by 6 in the morning, and then I woke up at 9 something. I was like, ugh. Only because my dog had to go out before I got online. But I'm like, screw it. I'm hopping on the call.
This is cool. I like StreamYard.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
There we go.
Seems all right.
Yeah, you can join. The links in the chat. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ricky, come on, hang out with us.
Not too much breakfast yet, but CJ, if you want to join, you're welcome.
Hey, my new Dell Charger is out for delivery. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we can catch your cold over video chat, right?
Hell no.
I'm kidding.
I hope he'll be better for the.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't give you a cold reception, Yugi. Haha.
Heck no. At least he's going to the doctor tomorrow.
Doctor.
Yeah. Seriously, man, get well soon.
Anyway.
Yeah. I love that old song.
People watching anybody else's new.
Now you got me with Robert Palmer on the mind. May he rest in peace, Robert Palmer. Oops, somebody's got a storm going on.
The emergency alert system has been designed. Oh, it's an emergency alert system.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, well. Today it's a heat alert system. It's going to be very hot. Can't believe Alaska, Anchorage hit 90.
Dang, that's unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, very much so. But
no, good for them. They deserve a little sunshine.
You can cook and fry your fish at the same time.
I'm listening to some music on my phone to wake me up.
If you ever looked at, there's this town in Alaska called Barrow.
No.
It's like the most northern, way up north town. They never. It's way up north where they get 6 months darkness, and it's nuts. I don't know why anybody would live there.
Alaska's a beautiful state, no question about Alaska. But yeah, 90 degrees there. It's for days and days. I think for weeks, maybe over a week now. It's not good. So
I'm gonna post this for Ricky.
I think if Alaskan bears could talk, they'd probably say, "Hey, what the freak is this heat? Well, I'm sweating with all this hair I have." Hey.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'll stay on a little bit longer. Then I need to have my breakfast. So
I need to do that too, actually. But also, for those that don't know, Ricky, myself, and Sergey will be doing a live install of Gen 2 in a couple weeks.
Well, if you start compiling now, you might make it.
really,
Yeah, it's gonna be on the 27th of this month, and I've already started my install a little bit ahead of time. But mine is using ZFS.
I tried to do like a video of me installing Gentoo, but there was just no easy way to do it. I had to do it on this machine. It's the only one with the specs to even remotely get it done in an acceptable time frame.
Yeah.
And so I removed the drive, my main hard drive in the drive bay, put another terabyte hard drive in, popped it into the drive bay.
Yeah.
And it was still going to take me over a week to do it with between life, the baby, you know. I just
And all that stuff. Yeah.
I just gave up. I mean, I could do it if I have the time.
But it's not possible. Yeah.
No.
looks like Linux kernel 5.2 has been released.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Hopefully they fix the dadgum NVIDIA crap that's been going on. Because I tell you, unfortunately, when kernel 5 initially released, there was a lot of bugs with the NVIDIA drivers, especially Optimus drivers. Oh my word!
It's still in the testing repo for Arch, but I got it running on this system.
How's it going with that?
I honestly, every time a kernel updates comes through, I don't really see that much of a difference. It just still works.
So you're on your Optimus laptop, it hasn't had any problems.
No, I run.
That's surprising.
Wait, matter of fact, I don't know if it's the NVIDIA Optimus that does this, but sometimes when I boot, okay, this screen here and the external monitor, they're both flash like black, back and forth, and I just hard reboot it, and it'll come back normal.
That
And
is weird.
it's very rare that it does that to me, but that does happen to me from time to time. So
Yeah, that's what bugs me about Optimus laptops is that sometimes with newer kernels they will glitch like that.
well, but I've had it happen with like each kernel update. Like it's not even like right after the kernel update. It's like random times. Like I don't know, it's just something just goes quirky in the background or something. Maybe I should check the logs or something. That might tell me something, but it's just weird. And usually just rebooting it fixes it.
Yeah.
I've never had an issue where a reboot didn't fix it. But I don't chalk that up to Arch. I chalk that up to NVIDIA Optimus.
Right.
I'm looking at a list of the latest PCs for less than $500. Not a single one for Linux. Oh well, except for Chromebooks, if you want to count that as a PC. So there's also news. There's the latest news on the latest Linux phone, the Librem phone. You want to check that out, but again, I'm not sure how many they're going to sell for about $700. So at that kind of price point, you might as well get an iPhone.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. I love mine. I don't have any sort of complaints.
no, they work. They definitely work. Well, from
Just
what I've heard,
they cost so much.
yes, right.
I'm not upgrading mine for at least a lot of years until it runs out of support.
Well, you can score a refurbished Chromebook for $100 from Samsung.
That's not
Nice, very nice. Two-in-one convertible Chromebook. Article here says it's way too good to be on sale for just $250. That is a low price for a 2-in-1.
Oh my god. Just some of this crap people post on Facebook makes me laugh at how dumb people are. I mean, I'm not saying that about everybody. I'm just saying it. Like,
Yeah. Sleepy, you might order Pinebook Pro. Let us know. Cool.
If I could,
Pinebook Pro. That's
if I could, I would buy one of the laptops on the Manjaro line. But it's too bad it's only available in Europe.
Oh, I don't know if you guys know this, but a week from yesterday is my birthday.
Happy late birthday.
Happy birthday!
Yeah. I think you mentioned, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's next week on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 28.
Very good.
Oh, I don't know if you guys also knew this, but Doris Roberts died.
Who's Doris Roberts?
The comedy actress.
Doris Roberts?
Here, hold on. Share screen. Yeah, shut up. StreamYard.
Oh, she was the mother in Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yes, her.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she was the woman from.
Got it. I know she is now. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the woman from who played the mom in Everybody Was Raymond.
Okay. Yeah, that was a hot show back 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
This is saying that she died in 2016.
Weird.
Really?
The Wikipedia page says 2016.
Okay.
No, I mean,
Wow.
yeah, that was 3 years ago. My bad.
Oh, I was about to say
No.
some kind of Mandela effect going on here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Hello, Raffy boy. Good morning. It's 4 p.m. for you. Okay. Very good. All right. CJ's in the house.
CJ.
And let's get somebody else here in the house.
Good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning, gents.
Howdy.
Is my microphone actually being detected, though?
It works very good. Hank,
Perfect, because the moment I try to add the virtual webcam, everything crashes on my end. It's not stable yet.
what are you using?
What?
Right now, Windows 10 with brand new drivers I've never really tried before, so that's part of the problem.
I see.
Oh,
Yeah, your
God.
mic's okay.
See, there's your problem. You got to
See,
install
this is
Arch.
why I just get the Dell drivers from the website. Leave it alone.
This is a custom built with a modded driver that has like Samsung part, Creative part, Dolby part, everything.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And it's actually not the audio driver that's giving me problems.
Anytime I hear mod, it's like when you build a car from different parts. Will it start? Will it stop? Will it blow up? You know.
If you heard my audio setup, like while you're hearing it, but I mean, if you see it, you will not want that on your computer. It's going to implode your Windows audio stack. You need Pulse Audio to do stuff like this.
Did you unplugging your camera and plug it back in?
Now it's a virtual camera that I could not be arsed to reboot. So
I understand.
All right. Well, then we'll virtually pretend to see you.
Yeah.
you would not have seen me. I don't actually have a webcam on this PC. I just wanted some kind of video feed.
Right. Okay. All right. IBM bought Red Hat. Okay.
Yeah. My dad used to work for IBM. He used to be their general manager.
That's good or bad? I guess it's good. I don't know.
He loves hearing about Linux because IBM was always big supporters of Linux. Yeah. I was supposed to go present Debian this evening at my local Linux group, but unfortunately I am not because some friends of mine on Star Wars: The Republic are hosting a birthday party early.
A Linux group. I mean, like, where you go? Is that like Linux Anonymous, like Alcoholics Anonymous? Is that what you're gonna do?
Not really, but it's just a local users group. That's all it is.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Mickey,
go.
what Linux do you use?
To what?
Hanky, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I just didn't hear my name correctly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm using OpenSUSE this week, and I've really liked it, so I'm probably staying on it.
How do you say your name? I don't want to.
It's Hanky. Or Hank. My actual name is Hank, so that will work.
Yeah,
Very good.
I tried SUSE a couple times, Hank, and I just couldn't wrap my hands around it.
It's a spectacular distro, that I can say. It's spectacularly great and spectacularly terrible at the same time.
What do you mean?
I am gonna, no promises, but I am setting up a VM setup so that I can have a OpenSUSE video.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
But the pre-install experience is absolutely terrible on SUSE. They have to fix that. Probably all your problems you were having were related to the pre-install experience.
Yeah.
If you got it down, it's a really nice distro, and I like it better than
I've
Ubuntu.
done before, but just the post-install crap was what was driving me nuts.
Well, let me ask you this, Hank. The last time I used OpenSUSE, I went with the Tumbleweed version, and no joke, it's on my radar as like a backup to Arch because I've come to appreciate rolling release. But one of my issues was when I booted it up in the, you know how the little corner, if you're running KDE, it has a little network manager and you can click it. I didn't find that there. And it took me but I was connected to the internet somehow, but the network manager wasn't showing up. It took me forever, a lot of digging to find that now Yast manages network manager. And I just don't find that to be very convenient.
Yeah.
I can imagine, but mine has Network Manager on all my devices, so they probably fixed that by now.
I hope so.
I tell you, I mean, that was the thing that drove me nuts about, that's what drove me nuts about SUSE also was the fact that, it didn't have very good network management because Yas was controlling everything. And I could never, see, again, it was the post-install stuff was so involved and just everything like that. I mean, it was a pain in the neck to get the codecs, the apps, the etc. I finally said, okay, to hell with this. I'm going back to Gen 2, my comfort zone.
Now, the codecs I actually blame on pre-install, because if they add a checkbox, I want codecs to the pre-install, you wouldn't have that problem in post. And that's basically the bottom line of SUSE.
Yeah,
I just never know what to do during the pre-install. I'm like, what the heck is all this crap?
The last time I installed OpenSUSE Tumbleweed, the problems I had back in 2015 with finding codecs and stuff were non-existent. VLC was working fine. Yeah. Everything was working fine last time.
The codec stuff is definitely still there. I had to add a unofficial repository and then just basically sudo zipper in VLC minus codec, and it installed everything fine.
Right.
But they don't ship by default, and there's no easy, convenient install option to get them either.
Right, which is a drag. So, you see, that's what bugs me about SUSE, is there's no stinking, post-install documentation that I can find anywhere on Google, which really sucked.
It's funny, sudo in Italian means I sweat. So when you said sudo zipper, I sweat zipper.
Yeah, that's what bugs me about SUSE, is that I would rather, have a very easy documented guide of through a video or somewhere online that I could just follow step by step by step that would just tell me what the heck I'm doing.
That's one of the things that pushed me to Arch from OpenSUSE was okay, I might have to do this all manually, but all the codecs are readily available. Everything I need is readily available. And I can just get it, boom, boom, boom. VLC works, everything works just fine. No, I don't have to add any extra repos. Maybe I got to hunt for something in the AUR. That's the worst.
Isn't the AUR technically an extra repo?
Technically, yeah. Well,
kind of.
Yes, but it's very centralized.
Because for SUSE, the only extra repo you might need is the Pacman repo, but then you pretty much have all of them.
Yeah.
Or the NVIDIA one, which has a separate one direct from NVIDIA, I believe.
Yeah, I would need that. How is OpenSUSE?
I would need that too, because you see, Benjamin and I both have NVIDIA Optimus laptops, which...
Yeah, that's my scenario on one of my devices as well. You install the NVIDIA repository, basically sudo zipper in I believe it was SUSE -prime or something like that. I'll have to look up the exact command.
So, see,
And it automatically pulls the driver for you, including a command line command to switch between NVIDIA and Intel, and that one works really well.
That's what bugs us about Optimus is the command line switching. We prefer to have graphical ways to do that, at least for me.
yeah.
I did not go that far because I was content with it. There probably is a graphical GUI. I've seen it on other distros that didn't have them by default, where you can just install one.
Yeah. I prefer things where you can have it just boom done. That's what I like.
I use a tool called Optimus Manager that's available in the AUR.
Yeah.
And it allowed me to set the default to go to NVIDIA. It allows me to switch it. Like if I were to switch it now, it would switch to Intel, but it would log me out. I'll have to log back in. But it works.
That's the one thing about Linux.
Yeah, same thing here.
Log out, log back in. I hate that.
But they did from what I could tell, Optimus Manager used to be just command line, but I saw a Qt client come into play.
Yeah, you see, I love their Qt client, and I cannot find a better equivalent on Linux. I just can't.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Ricky.
There you go.
How you doing, my friend?
Oh, I feel a lot better than I did 48 hours ago. I was just very, very sick. Luckily, I'm getting into the doctor tomorrow.
You need to get some medication, boy.
That's most likely what he's going to do. He's most likely going to put me on an antibiotic. But luckily, my voice is strong enough to where I could talk in here.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever works,
hopefully
man.
you'll feel better by the 27th, dude.
In Europe, we almost never do antibiotics. Like, almost never.
You know what?
Trust me, I will be better by the 27th. In fact, I'm feeling much better than I did 48 hours ago, so I'm definitely going to be ready for Surge on the 27th.
Well, I'll be there to support you, Ricky. I'll be there on the stream answering whatever you need, whatever the chat wants.
Lots of need to code, though.
I don't know, man. If I knew a deadline was coming up and I was going to have to install Gentoo on this day, I might make myself sick too, just so I can get out of it. Be like, I can't make it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ralphie boy's got a question. Who wants to take a crack at it?
Just for a noob. That's not
Ubuntu. That's not a so does he mean like that's not like Ubuntu based or Ubuntu at all?
No, he said it can be a fork of Ubuntu.
Right.
I would say peppermint.
How far do you want to travel from the Ubuntu realm?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what's the hardware of your system, and what are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah, because one of the things that I completely forgotten about Linux that I recently rediscovered is you have to find the distro that matches your hardware.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe.
Personally, I'd say either Kubuntu if you like KDE, Zorin if you like a more Windows-like GNOME, or PopOS if you like a more GNOME-like GNOME. Or Xubuntu if you like something lightweight. I'd say start there because they are reasonably... they are Ubuntu-based, so you get the same base, but you don't get the standard desktop with the ads and the snaps and stuff.
I mean, Linux Mint is a good Ubuntu base, and Peppermint too.
I mean, Switch to Linux has been advocating Linux Mint Cinnamon for a very long time. I'm behind him 100% when I say this. Linux Mint Cinnamon would be great as a national Linux standard.
Well, are you looking to game? Because I could tell you this, gaming is... I'm not saying this because I'm an Arch fanboy, but gaming on Manjaro is pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I'm in the why is Mint still a thing camp. I noticed that the actual Ubuntu spins these days are easier to use than any Mint spin that I've tried, at least when I tried them.
My only issue with Linux Mint is that and I know they do this for stability purposes, so I'm not knocking them for it, but some of the stuff that I use on a regular basis now on Arch, they don't really maintain some of those packages very well, and they're very old, and they just don't work right.
Mm.
So for me, it's just easier to run a rolling release. But it might not be for everybody, so use what works for you.
Exactly. I mean, not only do you have to find find the distro that matches your hardware, but you got to figure out. You got to ask yourself this one question: how far do I have to go to get the right Linux experience that not only suits my computer but suits my workflow as well? Because one of the things that I do with Linux is one of the purpose besides YouTubing I do with Linux is I try to get real work done on Linux. Like what I'm doing currently is I do basically my recording and all my eBay and Amazon buying through Linux. I don't use Windows to do any of that because the only thing I use my Windows machine for is just one specific program and that's it.
I can probably not do my work on Linux for like at least 5 years, probably longer, because if you're a Windows sysadmin, all the tools are going to be Windows based. They're not going to load at all, or they're not going to load well on Linux.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to say that like I don't need Windows for anything personally. I mean, I've been Windows free for a while, and like honestly, if I don't really know how to use LibreOffice, but if I need to get something done, I can Google like, okay, how do I do this in LibreOffice, and it'll show me how to get what I need done.
Yeah.
The
Joe, I
biggest
would
problem
invite
with
you, sorry.
LibreOffice
Yeah,
that's why
that
it
will
depends
prevent
on
it
the
from
work
taking
you're doing.
over.
Joe, I would
Like
invite
if-
you. I think we've maxed out at 6. I think StreamYard total of 6 people. But if you want to try, here's the link to try and jump in. But I think it's maximum 6 for the free version.
So it's basically very similar to Zoom then.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, one of the ones that I've actually had really good success with is Jitsi. I mean, Jitsi has a live streaming feature that's in beta right now. It works good from what I've tested. And if I'm correct, I believe Jitsi on its own can allow more people in it, I think.
Yeah, Jitsi is entirely free, and you can host it yourself if you want to. I just don't know how to do the stream to YouTube feature on a self-hosted instance, but their instances are really good. So you can just literally meet.jit.c and it will work great.
Yeah. One of the things I have done is I have updated some of my USB flash drives with the latest distros. I currently updated my Debian flash drive to Debian 10, so I will be using Debian 10 at some point. I just don't know when I'm gonna do it, because Peppermint on my current YouTube production machine has been very solid so far. Like I told Ben before, I haven't been this Peppermint has been so good to me over the years. I am not switching this computer at all ever again. Now the other two computers over here, like my TV, my computer my tower I use as a TV, I may put Debian on that. But if I'm most likely going to use Mate, because I have a really good history of Mate and XFCE. So it's going to be one or the other, or LXD, because recently I've been using Fedora 30 on that tower over there with LXD, and I have to say one thing. Between LXDE and XFCE, I actually find, and this is just my personal opinion, LXDE is much faster than XFCE is.
I just saw Joe come on the bottom. This thing is like, ooh, the studio is limited to 6 people. Please remove someone.
Yeah, sorry, Joe.
Should we draw straws?
Oh, please remove someone. Boy, they don't mess around.
Yeah, this feels like Armageddon's ending where they all have to draw straws.
Welcome to the friendly channel.
I think I'm gonna stick to Jitsi just to avoid this
Oh, wow.
issue. Yeah.
Same.
I'll take off. Actually, I'm gonna go do some morning stuff. So
Okay, that's up to you, CJ.
I got my exercise ball here. So
I'll see.
There you go, man.
I got my mom one of those, actually.
Hey! That exercise ball must be so unstable because it rolls.
I'm actually downloading OpenSUSE right now, and I don't even know which one to pick.
all right, take care, guys.
All right, CJ.
I have a virtual machine set
All
up.
right, Joe, hang on.
Ben, you don't know
What?
which OpenSUSE to pick?
Which one?
Boy,
Tumbleweed.
you can't believe on my account.
Yeah.
Because that's basically my biggest complaint with the pre-install experience. there is so many ISOs and none of them are perfect. If the main DVD, the main live, the main non-live DVD has your drivers on your system,
Yeah.
or at
so
least
you're
has
recommending
enough
the-
drivers to get
Hang
going,
on. You're recommending
that
the. Should I get the network downloader or what?
I just got the full thing. It has pretty much all the
Okay, so
packages
this
on
is
this.
the DVD installer.
Yes. If you are like me and you miss critical drivers in that version, try the live CD.
Okay. Well, I love XFCE, but I'm thinking of trying KDE because I haven't run that in a while.
Yeah.
Just be
The full installer has a GUI selection option once you go to the installer itself, so you're downloading all of them on the same disk. So it's pretty easy switching.
I think.
The only problem I see with KDE Ben that you're going to have trouble with is the settings. You're going to get so lost in those settings.
Well,
I love them.
Well,
When I
I
do,
configured Plasma and KDE4 in the past, so I can run either one and be fine.
I would say if I were you, Ben, I would try KDE 4. I mean, since
Well, here's the problem, Ricky. If I wanted to do that, I have to go to 13.2 in OpenSUSE, and that's no longer supported anymore.
Oh, okay.
Plasma 5 is great, though. I've
Yeah,
never
I
really
don't
liked
mind
Plasma
Plasma
4.
5.
But
I've configured it before. I can do it in my sleep.
plus, OpenSUSE Tumbleweed is rolling, so you get the very latest Plasma, and it's working pretty great, except for the notifications that I liked way better in 15.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to download the 4.3 gig image and just see how that works first.
Yeah, and I would say, Ben, if that doesn't work for you, my suggestion is go LXDE, because that environment's working really well for me.
Yeah, I'll try either one and see how that goes. Yeah.
As far as
Now, if you're like me and you have things like the touchpad not working in the installer, that is just an installer problem. Once it installs, it works fine.
Well, I've got a USB/Bluetooth Logitech mouse, and I've never had problems with that in any Linux distro. That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I never had issues with this touchpad in any Linux distro, but in the OpenSUSE installer, they just forgot the driver or something. It's really strange.
Well, I've had issues with the touchpad and the Debian installer before. So, I mean, I don't
Just came across a bit of oddball news. Not to go Colorado.
Yeah.
Boy, Rod.
This says it's going to take 40 plus minutes to download the dang thing. What the heck?
No. What you gotta do is copy the link and use wget to get it in the terminal. That always makes it quicker for me. At least that's what I do. Matter of fact, I found an extension for Firefox. I might show this on my channel. It's a wget extension. So when I click a download link, it automatically opens up a terminal and uses wget to get it.
I'd have to install Homebrew to get wget.
The default mirror for me is really fast, but they do have a pick mirror button if it helps you.
Oh, what?
Be minimal. Use DWM. Okay.
So on the OpenSUSE Tumbleweed page, you see DVD image on the.
Yeah, I'm using a USB Wi-Fi dongle. I don't know if that's the culprit, but this Mac's internal Wi-Fi card is an N1, and I'm using a AC USB dongle.
If it's USB 3, it should not be a problem. If it's USB 2, that's your bottleneck.
It's a USB 2 port with a USB 3 dongle plugged into it.
Yeah, that's going to cap you to 30 MB per second.
Right, I know. I might just, because of that bottleneck, go with the smaller image of Live. Because it would take less time for me to download.
You can install Live, they just don't recommend it, and it's basically the net installer with the Live environment.
With the GUI on top of it, yeah.
Hello, Dan. Saw you come in.
Yeah.
Why'd you definitely maxed out at 6?
Yeah. Hey, Dan. How you doing, buddy?
But Geeks says, any comments on the user experience? Yeah, it's all good. I mean, the free version only maxed out at 6, but this is looks really nice, polished, and professional. Yeah, this looks really nice. If I could pick up a sponsor, I wouldn't mind just paying this for the year and just use this because this is
hard to download freaking SUS. Oh my god.
So,
Is that how you have to pay? Is by the year or by the month, Carm?
I think it's either or, but I think if you pay by the year, they'll give you a break on the pricing. I thought I saw on their website. Honestly, since this works fine, I would just pay for the year and just be done with it, you know. Yeah. But
What was your experience with Jitsi Meat, Cost?
I'm sorry?
What was your experience with Jitsi Meat?
Jitsi worked pretty good. Not as full featured as this, but there's no limits on how many users and no time limit. It works pretty good. There is a filter to record it that doesn't always work, but putting that aside, I mean, I could record through OBS, you know. No, but Jitsi and this are my two top alternatives now for Hangouts because they just work. They're stable.
We also found out that Jitsi doesn't end when they post leaves.
Yeah, you have to click end stream to YouTube first, and then
Yeah.
whereas this one just says end broadcast and I'm done. So something new there. You're right, Joe.
I noticed it last time too. Luckily, everyone left pretty much instantly.
Yeah. So, but
Well,
just
this is officially.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, this
So
looks
this
nice.
is weird.
Yeah.
This is weird, you guys. KDE Tumbleweed versus the other one. The full DVD is taking less time to download. This is weird.
Yeah, that's because you get just enough to get KDE going. There's barely any software on it, which is why I criticize their live CDs, because they should have every package that you install on a standard install, and not less than that.
Yeah. I just, with the way my internet is, it would take me less time to download just the standard.
Well, but if I'm going to go OpenSUSE, I'll go KDE, because if I'm not mistaken, KDE was their flagship for the longest time, wasn't it?
Yes.
And it's a really good KDE. It's pretty stock KDE, actually.
Yeah, but the way I customize KDE, I turn on KWin with all the effects that I need, and there's like over half of them. And then I put the Excalibur menu on it and give it a nice dark colorized theme. Boom, done. Then I install all my favorite apps, put it in there. Boom, done. There you go.
See, there's one thing, Ben, that you said that is kind of like an oxymoron. You said, and you're done. You never seem to be done, buddy. You always
I know. It's hard for me to, you see, I get bored of, looking at the same thing.
I need a Gentoo patch, an Arch patch, whatever else patch, Hackintosh patch.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to stop distro hopping. I had to find something that worked. And
that's what bugs me about myself is that I can never stay happy with one thing. I get bored easy.
But I think that's part of the Linux, or environment or whatever. Because I've tried this. Well, right now I've stayed pretty solid on what I'm on.
Yeah.
And I really haven't had much of a desire to change. But you do get that bug every so often that it's like, maybe I should look at something, and it's just
it's part of
you can.
yeah.
Also, I'll blame it on me as an Aspie. I get bored very easily.
Well, like I said though, I think that holds true of a lot of us in there. I mean, I've still got Pop! OS on the other drive. I haven't fired it up much lately, but. I'm tempted to. I'm really liking Debian 10. What I've looked at it so far, and I'd like to maybe spend a little more time playing with that too. I think it's a pretty
this is why
because that's what I'm running right now, and Mint Cinnamon. I thought just for comparison's sake.
Yeah.
So.
You see, this is why I got to start using VirtualBox more often to play with stuff.
Well, but you know what? We've all been there. We've all been the distro hopper, right? Because we all look at, we see maybe the grass is greener on the other side here. It's like maybe it is for you. And the only way that we found the distros that fit us like a glove, that we absolutely love and settled on, was because we distro hopped for the longest time.
Yep, very true. And the other thing too, man, though, keep in mind, and I know that I usually do the same thing. I'll throw the distro challenge, I'll throw it on a VM just to take a quick look at it first before I put it on hardware, because I have come across a couple that it's like, I don't even want to chance it,
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, my point is some of them don't always run so well, even in a VM. And I noticed that about Debian 10, it was a little bit stubby or whatever. And I've got a pretty beefy machine, so settings, it could be a lot of things, but you can't get a true feel for something, but at least you get a general idea if it's something you want to.
Yeah, exactly. And there are times when you pretty much have no choice but to disrupt. Like for an example, for me, I was pretty happy with the Arch setup that I did in a video about a week ago.
Right.
One day, several days ago, for no apparent reason, my Arch setup imploded on itself. I could not fix the thing, so I had no choice but to go to Peppermint.
Well, I can't promise that I've settled on vanilla Arch, but I can tell you this: I've settled in the Arch family.
Yeah.
I might go Manjaro, but that's not a hop. It's more of like a distro step.
Mm-hmm.
For me, when I hop, it's solely because I either get fed up or something just is not working right. And for me, with this recent hop away from Gen 2, it wasn't because I wanted to or I had to or whatever. It was more of a had to because, for one thing, my LFS that I was working on broke. And then it started to fall back into Gen 2. So I finally said, okay, both of these systems are broke. I'm going to start over with a fresh install and see if it happens again. If it happens again, I'm just going to say, to heck with it and install something more stable and more reliable.
Hey, bro, can I make a suggestion for you?
What?
If you're getting sick and tired of just reinstalling Gen 2 over and over, the one suggestion I have for you, and trust me, it's worked for me, buddy.
What do you do?
Go with either Calculate or Sabalion and stick with one of those for a little while. This way you can reconfigure yourself, and this way you can get even more experience of Gen 2 from one of those two.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Ben can reconfigure himself.
Yeah. Well, you see, here's the thing. I have Gen 2 experience. It's just it's starting to slip a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna be the devil guy in the conversation who's gonna get him more hooked than Gen 2, and I'm just gonna suggest he makes a full hard drive image every time he wants to roll back.
Yeah, I probably should do that with like something like Clonezilla or something like that. That way I have a snapshot, so that way I don't run into problems again.
Yeah, but I really do think that once on the 27th, when my live stream starts, you're going to learn a lot from Surge, man.
Yeah, I think I will because he's going to be a huge help to us.
And I mean, I know the guy means well. He seems like a nice guy. Like he genuinely believes that we'll all be better out if we ran Gen 2 or Slackware or something.
Well, that's not for everybody. That's his problem.
No, the problem is you need to have the time to maintain a system like that. I just don't have the time.
Yeah, and I'm running into school scenarios and all that every so often. And, that's when I have to have, my Windows boot as well for something that I just can log in and be ready to go.
So, Carm, I got to ask you, what do you think of the Pine Book? What we've been hearing about that? I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I caught it briefly on the website, and look, if it's stable and it works and does what it's supposed to, it's fantastic. Again, a sweet spot for $200.
Yeah,
look, absolutely, but I'll have to wait for some reviews, like real world reviews, and go from there. So, in theory, it's fantastico. In reality, I don't know yet. We'll see.
Yeah.
But the price is right. Totally.
I will say though, with all these Linux phones and Linux tablets coming out, Carmine, I mean, it will give the mom and pop users another option besides Android. It really will.
But here's the thing: unless the price is right, the Windows market, consumer armament, they're going to ignore them. Just like I think they'll ignore the Linux phone, the Librem phone, $700. It ain't gonna happen.
No.
Maybe a pure Linux enthusiast who has a budget will buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Z says the Pinebook Pro is awesome. Yeah, Z got a prototype, so that's encouraging. Z, absolutely.
How did speed seem, Zeb? Yeah. You saw that too, Carmen. I can't remember. I was looking at the specs. I don't know much about the chips that are in there, but it sounds like for what would be everyday performance or whatever, it should handle it just fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Z's going to post a review or something next week. So we'll see. But, it's one of those things. Anytime you have something brand new, you need 3, 4, 5, a half a dozen people to say something and look for a pattern.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah. So,
I don't think any Linux-based phone is going to take off for a long, long time because I'm already struggling to run Android without Google. And if that's a challenge, good luck trying to run any meaningful apps on the phone. Like my bank these days requires a phone app.
Yeah.
And luckily, they offer a scanner for people without a phone, and I'm desperately trying to get my hands on one because I reinstall my phone a lot. And if I reinstall my phone, I would get locked out of my bank, which is not a good idea. But with situations like that, where everyone in the Netherlands with that bank is kind of locked into Android and iOS, gone market share. And there's a lot of apps like that are just mandatory that people want to have. And WhatsApp is probably not going to be on the Linux phone, and maybe it is.
No.
Telegram might be. And there's a lot of things like that where people want to watch Netflix and it's not available. Or they want to watch Amazon Video and it's not available. And that's what's going to kill the market share for that phone.
I agree. I mean, but the one thing I'm noticing though, when it comes to banks and companies making people have a mandatory app, is it should be an option of whether they want the app or not.
Yeah, this bank offers it if you don't have a phone paired. They give you a scanner, which is basically just a mini cell phone without the cell phone part.
Okay.
That's a pretty good alternative, which is why I'm trying to get my hands on one.
But
what I personally hope for, because there I see Linux be really good, because Microsoft gave up on that game, is I want an Android phone that boots in a straight whatever Linux desktop. And I know that Ubuntu was going to do it. They scrapped it, and that was super unfortunate because that looked awesome.
I know on other parts of the world, KDE has something like that.
Yeah.
I wish I would bring that to the
In fact, I can run that exact thing on my phone, but in my phone you need a docking station in order to power the display.
Okay.
My phone is one of the very few phones that's supported by that one custom ROM that boots into a Debian desktop if you plug it in, and it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, that does sound like a nice ROM option.
And if that starts going mainstream, you have an actual desktop replacement, because then people already have the phone, they can already just plug it into their TV or to their monitor, and they don't need a PC anymore for just email and things, and then they can carry it everywhere and be somewhere else, plug their phone in because they have the same dock. That's when, without the business market, that's the only chance for Linux to go mainstream, in my opinion. Otherwise, you need to convince the businesses first.
Yeah. I got a question for you, Hank. What was your thoughts on KDE 4 versus 5? I've been asking that of people, and I always get a mixed opinion. So I was wondering, as somebody who loves KDE, I was wondering your opinion on that.
It's a little bit difficult for me because I did not like Linux in the KDE 4 days. I started using it like the first time I said okay, now Linux is ready for my desktop was KDE 5.8, but only on Linux Mint. Everything else was terrible. Linux Mint had some fixes that pushed it to the standard that I was expecting from an OS. Then KDE 5.12 came out, and it was just then KDE itself was.
Yeah.
So I will probably find on. I have never really spent time with it.
Yeah. So you're more of a Plasma 5 kind of guy.
Yes. I am a Windows guy, literally. I am a Windows guy who doesn't like Windows 10 and found Linux Plasma to be more polished than Windows 10 for my needs.
Yeah, I will kind of have to disagree with you on that one. I don't hate Plasma 5, but ironically, I'm one of those guys who likes Plasma 4 a little more because it had so many nice extensions. It had all this and that. It was just, for all intents and purposes, it was a great desktop, all that kind of thing, but I found Plasma 5 a lot easier to customize in my experience.
Which version of Plasma 5 did you try last?
Can't remember. I think it was 5.11, maybe 5.12.
Alright, so it is the version of Plasma 5 that I would have liked.
Yeah, I liked it too, but the one bug that I had was a lot of the extensions and plasma widgets and all that sort of thing that I had just were not stable enough for it at the time.
I haven't run into any issues, but then again, I only tried searching for them with Plasma 5, so I never had any older ones that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, back when Plasma 4 was like the main thing, it was pretty decent. I think
Yeah,
it looked
the
a
one
lot
thing
better.
that I did, hold on, Benjamin. The one thing I did not like about it was the whatchamacallit, the the menu options out of the box. Those were the things that really bothered me.
But here's my thing about KDE is I've had mixed results with it. I like it to a certain extent, and like I used it for a while on Arch, but I have two definitions of bloat.
Yeah.
One of them is like a overly large program that's eating up way too much resources than it should. Okay,
Yeah.
that's one definition. My other definition though is if I have a desktop environment here, or if I have features or apps or something that I can't get rid of that doesn't work, I consider that to be bloat too, to an extent. And with KDE, I found a lot of that. A lot of things just sitting there that I can't get rid of that just won't work for me.
Yeah, if you remove, that's the one thing that bugs me about KDE is you have a lot of bloat on there that if you remove one thing from the GUI, it will break. That's the one thing that I don't like is that you have so much on there that if you don't want it and you don't specify that when you install it, it will break.
Yeah.
Another
I guess maybe my experience is better because I'm used to hiding those things from KDE's GUI rather than any command line uninstall or etc. I can get the package bloat, but for me, I really like this about KDE. I like the fact that it's so expensive in its features and it has basically everything I could ever want, and otherwise I can make it do everything I would ever want. But if that's bloat to you, then you might want something more limited.
Yeah,
so
that
to
I
speak.
can understand, but at the same time, I would need to play around with it, go through the menus to have to figure out where all the bloated apps are, and I'm like, I don't want that. I just want the thing to install, only what I choose it to, and etc. That's why I choose Arch or Gentoo or something like that. That way I can specify what KDE or other GUI packages I want on top of it.
See, my problems with KDE, and these are issues that I encountered I installed KDE Neon on a second laptop just to make sure it wasn't an issue with Arch. But so here's the issues I bumped into, was the online accounts. Okay, it was a hit or miss. Sometimes it would work. Sometimes I would get this weird error 2 message that's been on the forum since 2012.
Yeah.
No solution in sight. The other issue I ran into was Kmail. Kmail would
Don't use it.
and it would eat up all 8 gigs of my RAM.
Kmail is awful.
And like some people say, oh, just use Thunderbird, but it's like, wait a minute, I'm running KDE. I don't want to have to fall back to GTK apps because they look terrible on the Qt base. So
they fixed that in 5. It's basically the same look if you set the breeze theme to everything.
Yeah, you can.
For
do
me
that.
personally, I would say, especially on a Neon base, install the package Evolution -EWS. It's gonna get Evolution with Exchange web service support. Perfect email client for Linux.
I mean,
that's what bugs me about a lot of browsers these days. Is not many of them have full HTML5 support.
Hey guys, let's make this the 5-minute warning. I need to.
Yeah, I know, Todd. You're getting hungry.
Yeah.
So, I want to thank everybody who stopped in new for the first time. Thank you, Robert, for the super chat. And we'll wrap this up here in 5 minutes. Any last thoughts or comments about this or anything else? So I just caught some breaking news. I know what kind of sunglasses James Bond wears. They call them Martin Pereira Joe sunglasses, Joe.
The real good question to that is, Toss, where's your Amazon gift link for your subscribers to buy you a pair?
Say what?
I said, where can people buy you a pair for your live stream?
I don't think these are on Amazon. These are exclusive, I think, to I never heard of Martin Pereira. Yeah. Well, let me do a search on Amazon. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, Hank, hold on. I just flashed the OpenSUSE KDE image to my USB stick. So if I end up liking it, maybe I'll make a video about it.
All right. What I'm gonna suggest you do, otherwise you're probably gonna be really upset with it. Pay close attention to the partitions. Make sure that it's a partition scheme that you actually like, and turn the firewall off for your first run. Because otherwise you're gonna have things randomly be blocked and you don't know why it's not working.
Holy cow!
And plus, I don't want it to touch the wrong hard drive, because then my Windows setup that I ended up doing yesterday will be all gone.
Let me see. Let me see if the Joe.
You may want to practice in a VM first, because their installer again is just terrible with user friendliness on the partition part.
Exactly. I might do a test run in a VM. Yeah, I might do that.
I can't believe the sunglasses are on Amazon, but not the Joe edition, just the cheaper ones.
Oh my god.
Anyway, gentlemen, I'm gonna get off here. Okay.
I'm gonna do
All righty.
All right, see you.
All right.
Ricky.
All right. See you later.
Get well, man.
I will.
Exactly.
Bye, Ricky.
Anybody else new in the chat wants to say hello?
All right. I'm gonna get off too and go have some breakfast.
All righty, Betty.
All right. Later, man.
Later, man. So this was fun. This works pretty good.
Yeah.
This I would consider this buying this or paying for it in the future. Absolutely. I like it. Simple to use, stable. So
and it's browser based, so it's not OS bound, and it just works.
Yeah,
pretty much everyone
works. It's simple. It's stable. It's still a beta, as far as I know. But it does what it's supposed to do. So there you go. I like it.
It seems so clean. Very clean.
Yeah, very clean. Yeah, very clean. Very clean. Yeah.
The one instant plus I noticed about this, as opposed to Jitsi, is the fact that you have real moderator abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone can just randomly go on stream and start yelling obscenities and showing graphic images, because when you get big, it's gonna happen eventually.
Later. Yeah, I know.
Chats like that.
Well, this has a private chat function here too for me to send something to me, which is nice. So
I wonder if it's different for, like, I haven't signed up already. I wonder, other than maybe putting your icon in or things like that, I wonder how it acts different as your guests come in, if they have signed up accounts too, if it would have
you can add your own logo versus the StreamYard, but that's in the paid version. Mm-hmm. Like it says powered by Stream. That can be, you could put your own in, but that's in when you upgrade to it,
Okay.
So it does give you some more options in the paid version. That and adding unlimited people or more people to the chat. So, but no, I'm very happy with it. Yeah. So it works the way it should.
Yeah, it looks very good.
Yeah, there's the banner there. So.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. Absolutely. Very sweet. Yeah. I like, because the top left, it gives me how long I've been on live. 17 viewers right now. Oh, thank you, Sleepy. Toss is already big. Rip matters. Well, thank you. Yes, I'm very big on cannolis.
Mm-hmm.
One of these days I'll come on a live stream with the cannoli.
I like pasta chats myself.
Yeah.
Everybody goes, "What's a pasta chat?"
Antipasto. Yes, I had antipasto waiting for Joe in the green room. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Of course, he brought it himself, but it was still, it was still waiting for, not for me.
Yeah.
Video's good quality. Yeah, it seems that way. Yeah.
You're making me hungry now.
Well, I'm gonna go eat something breakfast, or I may just go out to the bagel shop and have something. But
Yeah.
I don't want to stay out in the sun too much because I feel a little bit sunburned from the pool yesterday. So, but I don't feel it. I mean, as bad, but I saw the skin flaking off. So I got to be careful today if I go later. But it felt good to be in the pool doing the exercises. It's awesome. I sleep better at night. I feel more relaxed. It really is nice. Yeah. So
that's the downside when we get like this, though. You got to worry about it. When I first started halfway without, I go, why is my head hurt? I looked this up in the red.
Yeah.
I don't have much protection up there anymore.
Oh, man. The cannoli show.
Yeah. So your banners, you could create a number of them and then just switch between them as you need to. Okay.
I can do anything I want. I don't know if there's a limit, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that is crazy. That's good.
As much as I want. I don't know how far this goes, but
you can do that with the subject titles then, which is also helpful.
Yeah. So yeah, it's fine.
Are they easy to delete them out too as you change?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
That one's for you, Ben.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see that, Sleepy?
Well, that banner looks big
too.
Where you could probably, you talk about your.
I just noticed this thing has a screen share feature. That's cool.
Yeah. Too. Cannoli show.
I'm having too much fun now with this.
If Arch users are nuts, what does that make Gentoo users?
Oh man. Anyway, just too fun. Yeah, I can go to the right and delete right here. There's like a trash can icon. So,
okay.
Yeah, right there, delete all this. So it's simple. It's pretty nice, But I like it. Yeah. He says, "Where's my middle finger emoji?"
Be careful what you ask for, Sleepy, because there is one in there. Somebody will post it.
This is just too funny. Anyway.
Cannoli show. I love that one.
Well, yeah, I just click show hide, change it, edit it, and trash can. Yeah, it works pretty good. Z says, I will join the ranks soon. What of chewing on cannolis or?
Ben, can you actually click on my screen yourself, or is that something Tos has to do?
If I click you, nothing happens.
Nothing's happening for me either.
Yeah, there's no, at least not in the free version.
Because it is sharing my screen, but I'm not sure if people can actually see it like large for them.
No. I don't see anything.
Yeah, I mean, I can remove people from the chat to make them somebody else, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah, it works pretty good. I like it. So far, so good. So anyway.
Okay. So
well, I'm going to go eat, gentlemen. Thank you for stopping by. ZBSD says completely bonkers. What happened, Z?
I think Zebedee is trying to install Gentoo.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, hang on a second. I'm going to add another banner here. Yeah. Just kidding.
Yeah, be ready for all that hate mail.
I know. I'm just kidding. Those of you watching this live, just playing with the banner thing.
Yeah.
Gentoo is the best, noob.
Yay. Well, on that note, I'm going to go have me a Gentoo breakfast, whatever that consists of. But
Rice cakes.
yeah, rice cakes, really. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll catch you sometime later. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.